Hi everyone, back at the YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game this weekend at home, St James's Park, 3 p.m. kickoff against Brighton and Hove Albion. That's right, the return of Yankuba Minteh. Anybody scared? I'm scared. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about how we think the guys are going to line up, how we think the game is going to go, and most importantly, which players could be dangerous and ones to watch in Brighton. I'll give you a clue. It used to be on our books, but we're going to get stuck right into that in a minute. Just before we do, if this is the kind of thing you like, smash subscribe. Come help us get 9,000 subscribers. We're really close, within a couple of hundred, I think, now, which is amazing. So thank you so much for the love and support on the recent videos. We always appreciate it. Drop that like, share the channel, help us grow. It's all free content. But if you want to give a bit back to the channel, there's a members option down there below. Once I stop shaking the camera there, smash whichever one you want, and we'd love to have you on board. So what we're going to do about Brighton and Hove Albion this weekend. So it's an interesting one there. So both teams go into this game with identical fixture points, really, in terms of what they've done in this particular season. So I'm just having a little check there. So both teams have played 7, won 3, drawn 3, and only lost 1 game. So this is a really interesting fixture to see kind of how the two teams compare against each other. I still don't buy that whole we should be like Brighton thing that Paul Mitchell was spinning. I think Brighton have done superbly well, and their signings have been absolutely incredible, including Nick and a very talented young right winger off of us where we need a right winger. But I don't think we should strive to be like Brighton, no disrespect to them. Newcastle, owned by the PAF, should be striving higher than that. But Brighton have come off the back of an unbelievable victory against Spurs where they beat them 3-2. And Spurs were Spursy, but Brighton were very good as well. And they're a really dangerous side to play with pace, they play with power. Danny Welbeck apparently has discovered a DeLorean and gone back in time, and it's Danny Welbeck who's scoring goals again. He looks dangerous. He's a handful up there. And obviously with those players out wide, with the likes of Yankuba Minteh, Matoma as well, really decent side. You know, they're strong at the back. But I think Adam Webster may be missing this game, which will hurt them defensively. But a big question for us is really going to be who is going to play up front and who is going to be back from the treatment table. So this is the lineup that we've gone for. No surprise. We've got Nick Pope in goal. Obviously, with the injuries to Trippier, we've got Martino at right back, Fabian Schär, Dan Burn against his old team at left back, and Lewis Hall. Left centre back and Lewis Hall. At left back, no Dan Burn at left back against Minteh. My God, I'm going to give myself a heart attack there. Midfield 3 of Sandro Tonali, who was brilliant for Italy in the international break. So if Eddie Howe drops him for Sean Longstaff in that game, he's got some serious fucking questions to answer. Bruno Guimaraes in the middle, Joe Linton on the side. And this time, in terms of the front 3, providing everybody's fit and raring to go, we've got Alexander Isak through the middle, which I think has got more chance of starting this game. Callum Wilson apparently needs more time. Kel's surprise. And then we've got Jacob Murphy on the right-hand side and Gordon in his more customary left-hand side position. Harsh to Harvey Barnes, but I think Harvey Barnes hasn't been brilliant when he started the last few games. You know, yes, he still had chances, but I really feel for Harvey Barnes because he's almost playing himself into this position as an impact player, which he doesn't want to be. But that's what I think will happen with Harvey Barnes this weekend. I think he'll be an impact off the bench. Hopefully, we're not chasing the game at that point. And Jacob Murphy will play because of his running and hopefully try and help out defensively against some of those dangerous players on the break from Brighton Hove Albion. So where's the danger points really? I mean, the first danger point straight away I've got to point out is Yankuba Minteh on that right-hand side run up against Lewis Hall. I love Lewis Hall, as you know. Anyone who's watched the channel knows I'm a huge fan of Lewis Hall, but he does lack a little bit of pace and he can be caught defensively, especially when he's trying to push forward because he's a really good attacking fullback. And my worry is he gets caught short. Yankuba Minteh gets a clean pair of heels on him. And who's covering him? Dan Burn. I'm sorry, I could probably catch Minteh quicker than Dan Burn. Pace is not something Dan Burn is blessed with. A lot of other things, including fortnight dancing skills, but pace is not one of them. So that really scares the shit out of me if Minteh manages to get some space in behind us. I mean, how has Minteh done this season? You know, we all talk about him, and that's what the big story is going to be this season. So overall, he's played 8 games overall, 7 in the league, 1 in the cup. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist. Now, that looks decent for a young lad, obviously, you know, kind of cutting his teeth, I suppose, in the Premier League. But I suppose in context, Jacob Murphy has played 7 Premier League games with 2 assists and no goals. So kind of you look at it there and you think maybe, is the Minteh thing all hype? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a very talented footballer. And Brighton have had some tough fixtures as well along the way. But this kid is going to be absolutely enthused in this game. St James's Park in front of the Geordies. He's going to show us what we're missing, show us why we were wrong to sell him. And I think he's going to be absolutely enthused and driven to do well for this football club. Now, one really important player in the Newcastle United lineup is going to have to be Joe Linton. He is going to have to go back and help out Lewis Hall and help out Dan Burn potentially as well in that left-hand side position. So we may sacrifice a lot of Joe's running forward in this game if Minteh starts causing some trouble on that right-hand side, alongside Veltman maybe overlapping him as well, and obviously Mitoma on the other side as well against Tino. But Tino's got a pace to deal with that. I mean, you'd be half tempted to maybe, if Trippier had been fit, to chuck Tino left back to deal with Minteh's pace, and maybe drop Lewis Hall, as much as I love Lewis Hall. But I don't think that'll happen, obviously, because Kieran Trippier is knackered as well, and there's just no option for that, really, unless you were to bring in Kraft at right back and move Tino over to left back, which I just can't see Eddie Howe doing. So, I mean, in terms of Brighton in the last game, the danger players really in the last game, obviously, was Mitoma, was Minteh. So just looking at Minteh's stats in that last game against Spurs. So he had 13 out of 17 passes, so he had a 76% passing accuracy there. Out of his 3 crosses, he only got 1 in the box there. Dribble attempts, he only successfully completed 2 out of 5. He won 4 out of 11 ground duels, so it shows he's a grafting winger. My God, we could have done with that. And he lost the ball 11 times in that one. But, he did get stuck in with a tackle or 2 as well and some interceptions. On the other side, Mitoma, who was a very talented player as well. So he was a 70% passing accuracy with 19 out of 27 passes. Again, 5 attempted crosses, only 2 got into the box. 3 key passes, though, in that game. And 4 dribble attempts, didn't get any of them off. Won 5 of his 10 ground duels. And again, putting a good few tackles and interceptions as well. So I like Brighton as a side. I think they're a dangerous side. And again, with Welbeck this season, he seems to be a little bit reborn as well. But, Brighton on an infallible side, we can get to them. I think if our good players, our class lads, as the True Faith crew would say, show up, then I think, there's no reason why Newcastle can't take control of this game. But it just really worries me in the full-back positions where positional sense is sometimes not the strongest suit. Pace for Tino, yes. Positional sense sometimes a little bit out. But Hall, definitely positional sense can sometimes be caught as good as he is on the ball. And I think with the width that Brighton have, the danger that they have, the Welbeck's no slouch either, but I'd like to think Cher's positional sense could sniff out Danny Welbeck and take care of those runs. And he's not going to have a straight-out fight against Dan Burn because he'll lose. Our midfield is stronger than their midfield, if you look at that on paper, in terms of Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali, against, is it Carlos Belieber and Jack Hinzelwood started the last 2 games. So I'd back Bruno and Tonali to beat those 2 in a midfield battle any day of the week. But our lads have to turn up, and we can't take this for granted. Spurs are a decent side and got some very good players, and Spurs got done by Brighton as well. You cannot underestimate this team whatsoever. They are where they are in the league for a reason, and I think this will be a really difficult game. So in terms of the result on this one, I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit, guys. I think we're going to get a score draw in this game. I think it's either going to be 1-1 or 2-2 or Desmond 2-2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm not sure Newcastle are going to win this game. I just think Brighton have got a lot of stuff going, a lot of quality going in that side. I think some of their players will be really up for this game, Minteh in particular. But again, with Newcastle, they can surprise you. But we are struggling a little bit. I think Isak will be rusty in terms of fitness if he does start the game. Maybe he won't start the game. Maybe Gordon will be through the middle. It'll be Barnes out left and Murphy out right as well. And then that's not really worked either. So I just think Newcastle will get a draw in this game, 1s each. We'll keep that long-standing, I think it's 12 games now, undefeated at St James's Park in the League and Cup. We'll keep that record if we get a draw. But I'm not sure we're going to have enough to win at the weekend. Not being negative, just thinking pragmatic. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about this game. Are you worried? Are you concerned? I'm shit myself about Yankuba Minteh. I've got to be honest with you. I think the kid's going to absolutely light up St James's Park because he's going to be so up for this game. And I'm just not sure we've got the pace on that left-hand side to deal with it. Unless Joe Linton levels him and puts him in the East Stand, 3rd row in the first 10 minutes, and the kid doesn't fancy any more of it after that. That's about the only thing we're going to have going for something in this game. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think, what you think about the lineup, what you think about Minteh. Are you worried about him as much as I am? And obviously, let us know what you think about the game. We always like to hear from you. If you drop a comment, we'll do our best to reply. Like and subscribe, guys. Help get us to 9K. We'll be back with a post-match review of this game straight after on Saturday. Keep it evermore. In the meantime, have a belter. We'll see you later.